Hey Zen friends, welcome to the sixth and final quest video for 2025. The first 5 months, we moved through all the 5 elements, providing tools on how we can access the power of these elements in our lives and how to connect with the elemental spirit guides related to those elements. So the playlist for all of those quest videos is listed in the description box of the video, and it will be at the end of this video as well if you want to catch up on any of that. But in this final quest video, we chat about ritual and how to make mindfulness a habit, and I am super excited about it. But I'd like to start off first by sharing a channeling from my guardian angel that came through automatic writing. It started off with me saying, "Good day" to them, and what would you have me know today? And he answered back, or they answered back, and said, "Good day, my eternal friend. I would have you know something. I would grant you to know every day and every moment. You are loved. I love you. We, the many collectives of divine expression, love you. That is the most powerful thing any human character can know. Eternally, unconditionally loved. Everything points to this love energy, the thermometer of unconditional love, high expression of this love, or a cry out for it, a hunger for it, desperation for it. It is the air the heart and soul breathes. If it isn't aware of experiencing it in any expressions of itself, it feels as if it's drowning, gasping for air. The human character is one of the most challenging. 20,000 leagues under the sea, it feels like. It takes more to reach the surface, to breathe the fresh air. The pressure that deep feels so heavy and constricting. The pockets of air and air in breathing apparatuses seem stale and stagnant compared to the fresh air above the sea. Without judgment and with great love, we recommend connecting with us as much as possible throughout your days. We provide a long hose like those deep diving suits of old and new, bringing fresh air directly to you, pocketed away in your fancy deep diving suit. You have experienced humanity to great depths much in the first half of your life, but now is a time to experience heaven on earth by expanding your true, your capital T true essence into your human expression. This is accomplished by making space mentally, emotionally, energetically, and physically. We'll provide more insight into this as you prepare your next quest video about ritual and making mindfulness a habit. I was like, wow, they know about this, of course. And he says, where they say, we're excited about how this information will expand your connection, energy, and awareness. They say, talky talk, more soon. We love you, we love you, we love you. I love that. And I'm excited as well. I felt this was a great way to start our adventure into making mindfulness a habit through ritual. You know, what does making mindfulness a habit mean? For the case of this video, we're going to consider mindfulness bringing our attention to the higher realms, having our mind be reset, where its first reaction is to look higher from that higher perspective rooted in unconditional love and joy and laughter, gratitude, and play. We learned as human characters to focus on lower vibration through a consistent intake of popular opinions of the outside world that created a habit of choosing lower vibrational stories and lower vibrational emotions, lower vibrational actions and energy rooted in the fear of rejection, the fear of what people would think, fear of failure, and all those other perceptions of fear. Of course, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. It makes sense that to transform our habit to focusing on mindfulness and awareness of the higher realms, that we would accomplish this through repetition. Repetition in spirituality is commonly referred to as ritual, an action that's taken consistently and intentionally. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Chat about some ideas of ritual that can bring focus to the higher realms in a variety of areas of our life in a variety of ways. I'd like to approach it as a countdown from 5 to 1 as a way to remember these if you choose these. But my intention is more to show you different approaches which may spark your own way of creating ritual in your own life in a way that resonates with you. I find when I create something, I am more kind of bought into practicing it than when I try to repeat what someone else has created. So I will leave that all up to you. Now, before we begin, it is helpful to have the following. So if you want to pause and grab these things, 3 things: a cup of your favorite drink and or a sample of your favorite snack. Number 2, something that you enjoy smelling: essential oil, flowers, incense, a scented candle, a cologne, a perfume, a coffee, potpourri, a food, or whatever it may be. So something that you enjoy smelling. And then number 3, something you enjoy listening to: a song, specific music, a singing bowl, chimes, even someone's voice, whatever it may be. Those are the 3 things. So if you want to pause that, grab those, come back, and we'll get started. Otherwise, if you're like, well, I'll come back and listen to this later, let's move forward. All right, so first we will start with the number 5, which will be the 5 senses. So we'll start by getting our physical bodies intentionally involved by focusing on outer things and connecting them to higher things. So we'll do this through the 5 senses. We'll start off with the sense of sight. Now, gratitude is a higher vibrational energy that immediately begins to raise our love vibration and frequency, and it opens the gates of receiving, energetically drawing things to us that we are grateful to have in our lives or to have had in our lives. Wanting and needing are lower vibrational energies of lack because they focus on that we feel we're missing something. That is where want and need ignite from. We're pretty much all taught growing up to focus on what we need and want rather than focusing on what we do have in the moment or have had in the past and sit in sincere gratitude around them. Energy doesn't lie. We can't say something with our mouths or mind, but inside focus on feelings of want and need and lack and expect that to bring us what we feel we're lacking. Our energy does the opposite. It tells the universe that we enjoy wanting and needing and enjoy lacking. So please bring me more of that. And we're like, no, that's not what we want. I know that that's not what we're wanting to happen, but our energy pushes against the universe, bringing those things towards us when we have that intention and focus on need and want. It's also good information to be aware of that when we focus on fearing something will leave our lives, that our energy repels and rejects it out of our lives. And if we fear something will come into our lives, our energy whistles at it and draws it towards us. So where our attention goes, our energy flows. And if we focus on what we hate, we amplify, increase that, draw more of that to us. Instead, we can focus on what we do have in our lives that we're grateful for or have had in our lives. And when we focus on the have energy, that opens the conduit of allowing more have to come our way instead of focusing on the not have energy and drawing more of that to us. So why are we talking about gratitude, Brother Zen? Well, I thought we were going to talk about sight. I know. Great question. Gratitude will be a big part of this process and a life changer for you. So we're kind of setting the foundation for the rest of these rituals by understanding this to start off. So good question. If you're going, wait, how did we end up talking about gratitude? All right, we're still going to be focusing on sight here in a sec. So in addition to this practice, choosing a period of time to have a gratitude journal of some sort helps us change our habit from focusing on the lack energy and habitually choosing sincere gratitude instead. I know that these gratitude journals can be talked about a lot, and when Spirit first recommended I try it, I was like, really? A gratitude journal? It's so overdone. This was like years ago. But there is a reason for it. It is an amazing tool to help us change our habit and thinking. As I mentioned earlier, we learn through habit to focus on what we feel is missing in our lives, and through a gratitude journal, we can change that habit for our own benefit. And what I did is I planned for 30 days, each day, that I would write down one thing that I was grateful for and purpose not to repeat anything during those 30 days. So I would have 30 separate things to be grateful for at the end. And once I reached the 30 days, I was so impressed with how my energy had changed that I wanted to continue it. So I was as surprised as anyone. I didn't put an intention on a date when I would end it after that. I was just going to continue it until I felt it had served its purpose or I ran out of things to be grateful for. But I ended up continuing with that gratitude journal for almost 5 months. I know. Who would have thunk? And I didn't stop because I ran out of things to be grateful for. As I identified things to be grateful for, one, I realized that we have so much to be grateful for, electricity, indoor plumbing, refrigeration, heating, air conditioning, water heaters, stoves, internet, cell phone, eyes to see, ears to hear, legs and arms that work. So many things. And then two, the more I was grateful, the more blessings and things to be grateful for came in. So that 5 months gratitude had become such a part of my life that I no longer felt I needed to keep a journal. I was living gratitude. So whatever we focus on the most is what we become an expert in. Do we want to be masters of finding things to complain about or masters of gratitude? There's no right or no wrong, just different choices with different outcomes and experiences. You get to choose. Another helpful hint on changing habit is using our cell phones. I talk about this quite a bit. Sometimes I do, this when I'm wanting to bring focus and transform things quickly, is I set a silent vibrating alarm on my phone so others don't have an higher opportunity to be irritated around me with my alarm going off. And I name the alarm whatever I'm wanting to focus on. In this case, it could be gratitude. There are so many things in this giant amusement park of fear rides that can draw us out into the lower vibrational fear experiences, that having a reminder throughout the day to return to the higher vibrational energy of gratitude or joy or laughter or unconditional love, play, peace, all those higher vibrational frequencies, anything we can do can help us change our natural state of expression. At times, I set the alarm once per day. And if I really want to transform something quickly, I can set an alarm for every waking hour. I know. Okay, so I think that about covers gratitude to this point. So let's talk about how to bring the 5 senses into focus, starting with sight. And we can do this anywhere, eventually. But to start out, it's probably better to do this in the privacy of your own home, in a controlled environment where you can maintain attention to your moment rather than having opportunities to be distracted by what's going on around you. So find somewhere quiet where you won't be interrupted, and I recommend silencing or turning off your phone for a bit. And then take some deep breaths to come out of the future, come out of the past, and the rush and the hustle and bustle of the human experience. Just some deep breaths. coming back to the now, to the right here, to the right now. And then take a look around you. What is one thing that you're sincerely grateful for to have in your life in this moment? And if you don't have something directly around you in the moment, picture something in your mind that you're sincerely grateful for to have in your life in the moment. Feel in your heart that warm emotion of sincere gratitude. Smile and thank the Creator, the universe, whatever your higher source of power you believe in, for having and having had that item or that person in your life, and for having the sight to see it. Generate gratitude for whoever created this item or this person. Sit in that for a moment, looping the gratitude in your mind over and over, as if it is an echo of gratitude bouncing around inside of you, making its way to the heavens. Now, close your eyes as we move on to the next sense of hearing. I mentioned before starting to grab something you enjoy listening to, whether that's a special song, a favorite kind of music, a singing bowl, chimes, even someone's voice. And if you weren't able to grab these before starting, you can think of these things and picture hearing them in your mind. Yes, you have the capacity to hear things in your head like a soundtrack for your life, but don't listen to those voices telling you to do bad things. Now, with your eyes closed, just play the sound that you have chosen, or think about the sound. Let your ears glide out and listen to the sound as it drifts, as it flows. Listen to that sound vibration vibrate through the air. Feel the higher vibrational feelings of joy within your heart that rise as you listen to this sound. Again, smile and let gratitude for the sound expand as you thank the Creator, the Source, for the ability to hear the sounds, gratitude for those that created it. And again, sit in that energy for a moment. And then keeping your eyes closed as much as possible, because this allows our other senses to be enhanced, we'll move into the sense of smell. And if you were able to grab something that you enjoy smelling, whether that be an essential oil, flowers, incense, scented candle, cologne, perfume, coffee, potpourri, food, whatever it may be, bring that to your nose, or bring your nose to it if that's easier to do. And if you weren't able to locate that item before starting, as we did for the other senses, imagine that thing in your mind and let your mind bring that smell towards you. Isn't it amazing what our brains and memory can do for us? We can reignite sense of smell, reignite sound. I love it. And then allow the smell to activate your third eye chakra, which is located between your eyebrows. Feel the smell radiate in this area of your being. Feel the smell. Allow emotion to rise as you experience the sense. Allow the smell to take you to memories of joy that encompass it. What does it remind you of? Who does it remind you of? Smile and let gratitude for these moments flow towards those memories and fill this moment. Thank the Creator for this creation, and then sit with that energy for a moment. And then now open your eyes for a moment so you don't spill the cup of your favorite drink or sample of your favorite snack as you move into the next sense of taste. So as you sip or take a bite, close your eyes after getting the thing in your mouth, letting that taste move through your tongue and into your body. Feel the taste. Allow it to rush over you. Smile and let joy and gratitude for this taste rise up within you. You could even go, Let any memories of this taste activate and take you there in your third eye movie screen room in your head. Let the joy of that moment expand. And then thank the Creator for your taste buds and for the creation of this amazing food or drink. And let that sincere gratitude for these feelings radiate from your heart. And again, sit in that energy just for a moment. And now let's move into the last of the 5 senses, which is touch. Our sense of touch can be feeling temperature or textures, and pain can be an experience as well, but we're not going to focus on pain in this video. Focus on touching those things that bring joy and higher vibrational emotional response. Maybe it's the warmth of a coffee mug, the softness of your clothing or a blanket or a pillow that you have around you right now, or caressing your own face or touching your hands softly together, feeling the love that emanates from your own touch. Allow yourself to feel around you for a moment and let gratitude again rise up for these feelings and for having these things available to you. Allow touch to be a beautiful gift, something that you've been granted in order to feel this world in amazing ways. Thank the Creator for life, for being able to exist as this human character in this lifetime, as this specific human character. Embrace who you are and see yourself as a special creation that Creator knows all about and is proud of your creation. Sit in that energy for a moment and breathe deeply. And I know in this day of humanity, it may seem that we don't have a lot of time to do daily ritual, and I get it. So life can demand a lot of us these days. Once we see the value in how doing daily ritual can impact our lives in such a positive way, then we can learn what works best for us through trying different ways. Like if you took 60 seconds for each of these senses, after you get used to it, right, that would be 5 minutes. And really, when you learn to focus on gratitude, 10 seconds each would take you less than a minute to move through this first portion once you make it a habit, right? All right, I like that. So that's it for the senses, number 5. Now let's start counting down. We started at 5. Now let's move to 4, the 4 elements. Activating and bringing in all the 4 elements together into daily ritual can help us gain a balanced feeling, but also brings clarity on where we're experiencing life. So the 4 elements represent the 4 areas of our human experience. Air is the mental. It's the story we apply to things with our brain. Water is emotional, the emotions we choose to experience. Fire is the passion, creativity, action, and manifestation focus energy. And then the earth is the physical experience. So you can create an altar that has all 4 of these elements, and that can help our human character connect to the higher energy that these embody. So some ideas, of course, you create it to make it your own, as always. So air, like feathers, angels, bird sculptures, whatever connects you with air. Water, you can do a little glass bottle with water in it, seashells, sculptures of sea animals, whatever connects you to water. Or fire, you can do candles, incense, a lava lamp, or a regular lamp, whatever connects you to fire or light. And then earth could do stones or rocks or crystals or, sand, leaves, wood, statues or sculptures of land animals, whatever comes to you to the earth or connects you to the earth. And I like that about coming to the earth because we do get gifted things from spirit animals and different things. And I love how if you're going to take a leaf or you're going to take something from land or whatever, you just ask, permission to do that and then thank them for it as well. And as a bonus, you can also add something to your altar that represents the higher realms and the ethereal. I add crystal balls to mine, but let it be whatever connects you with the ethereal. So we've talked about the 5 elemental spirit guides that we have and all the tools on how we can experience these elements at a higher vibration. So as I mentioned in the beginning, check those out, the January through May quest videos, if you want to dive more deeply into all of those elements. The link to the monthly quest video playlist is in the description box below, and I mentioned it'll be pinned at the end of this video too. But for the purpose of this ritual, what you can do for the elements that can be quick and easy to remember is start with air, our brain, because it's at the top of our body, obviously. Ask yourself what higher vibrational thought you want to focus on and choose in this moment. Is it unconditional love or joy or laughter or play or peace or gratitude? Is there a belief about yourself that brings feelings of limitlessness, powerfulness, eternity that make you see how powerful and supernatural you really are? And if you have more time and you want, like you're in this deep dive mood, you can ask yourself, your higher self, if there is a lower vibrational thought that's ready to transform and to bring it to us with the transformational higher truth that helps transmute it. So you can do that. If not, don't spend time on it. Keep your focus on the higher vibration, right? Then we can move down from the head to the heart, next to with the water elemental emotional energy. So ask yourself, what higher vibrational emotion you want to focus on and choose in this moment? Is there a memory attached to this emotion that you can see in your mind's eye? Feel that emotion and let it flow and loop as many times as you'd like. And again, if you have time and you feel like you would like to transmute some old emotion that no longer serves you, you can ask your higher self to reveal to you a relationship that you're ready to let go of, or an emotion from earlier in your life that doesn't represent how you want to feel about a situation. And this can help you regain some of the emotional energy that you're using to keep an emotion below the surface, or if you are over-investing emotional energy in a relationship. And then next you move down into your belly button area, which is around where the solar plexus chakra is and the seat of your personal power. This is where you can look at the fire energy, the passionate, creative manifestation energy that is amplifying things in your life and drawing or repelling things toward or away from you, right? Your energy is always on. You are always attracting something to you, creating your life, whether you're conscious of it or not. And as we mentioned toward the beginning of this video, gratitude energy and have had energy draws higher vibrational things that match that, and have not, lack, fear, and lower vibrational energy draws to us the things that match that. We are not a baby in a car seat, in the back seat, and someone else is driving the car. We are in the front seat, the driver's seat, creating our life through our moment-by-moment energetic choices. And if we don't like something about our life, well, good. That's great awareness. There is no one to blame because there are no right or wrong choices, just different choices with different outcomes and experiences. So when you realize that you aren't appreciating or enjoying what is in your life, you get to make the choices to change that. Boom. That's where we want that power to be, in your own hands. You're not at the whim of the outside world. You get to choose the mental story, the emotion you want to feel, and now the energy that you want to put forward. So for this part, when you're sitting in that solar plexus area, think of one thing that you are grateful for in this moment and thank the Creator for it. Simple, yes? And if you're feeling extra spicy and you're looking for a transformative experience, then you can ask Spirit to show one thing in your life where you are focusing unconsciously on the have not, a need, a want, where you feel something is missing from your life. Looking into this will help open up more things to come towards you that are in alignment with your soul. And then we also make physical choices each moment, which I perceive that as the energy of the outer physical world and the lower root chakra, which is at the root of the spine around the reproductive organs. So for this part of the elemental awareness, you can ask yourself, where in your life do you recognize that you've received a sign from your spiritual posse in the physical world? Did you get a feather, a penny, a special song playing in multiple places you visited during your day? Whatever that may be, thank them for bringing you signs in the physical world that feel real to you and exist. I love that. And again, if you're feeling extra energy about investigating and transforming things in your life, you can ask your higher self to show you a situation in your life where you felt something was happening to you, and then step back and see where the gift in that situation was for you. We can even ask, yourself, why you choose to have this event, or why you chose to have this event unfold for you. What were you wanting to learn about yourself? These help me feel connected to the elements, and then it also helps me see where the source of my challenge is when I'm feeling challenged. All right. Now we keep counting down. We had 5, we have 4, and now we're going to move into 3 while we connect with our 3 inner children. We probably have several different expressions of inner children within us, like the old woman who lived in the shoe, but we will group them into 3 for the sake of this ritual. So it is sometimes considered that the human does have 3 phases of human development, which is split into the first 21 years and in 7-year increments. So the emotional inner child develops first, 7 years old and under, all the way even back into the womb. The mental inner child develops usually between 7 and 14. And then the physical inner child is between 14 and 21. For each of these inner children, get to know each of these as you sit with memories from those periods of your life. You can ask them what they need from you in this moment. And each has a different need based on their age range. Emotional support for the emotional inner child, mental support for the mental inner child, and physical support from the physical inner child teenager, right? So this is a great opportunity to learn to listen to your body and to tune into your inner voice. They see you as a separate entity, as this adult self, and it can take time for them to develop trust in your adult self. After all, they see and know everything you do, and when you say yes to things that you don't want to do, they don't know if they can trust you, to be honest, because you're really wanting to say no to that. The more you're true to yourself, the authentic true self, the more they trust and open up to you as well. Pretty cool, huh? Our emotional inner child wants us to feel them and know the charged emotions that are impacting us deep in our subconscious where it lives. And it tries to get our attention through bringing things emotionally into our lives to wave at us. And it will use our dream time to bring emotions up for us as well through emotion-filled dreams. Our mental inner child will also try to get our attention by bringing conflict or conflicting situations up around us for us to see it in our peripherals through other people's lives, and then eventually into our own lives if we don't notice it. And they can also use the dream time and daydreaming to ignite old mental memories that it wants us to see though like the dreams will be less emotional and more mental dreams, if you know what I mean. And if we don't listen to those two inner children, our physical bodies will eventually start reflecting those things for us. Wonderful books like You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay are great references that can guide us to what the emotional and spiritual reason is behind physical symptoms or dis-eases in our physical bodies. So I share all of that to communicate how important it can be to take the time to listen to these parts of ourselves. So just kind of spending a moment with, recognizing your emotional inner child, your mental inner child, your physical inner child, teenager, is helpful for this. All right. So that's it for that. We continue the countdown. 5, 4, 3, and now to the number 2. The power of 2 happens every moment. I remember doing a reading for a friend, and what came through was that life was simple, a choice between 2. Our human characters are giving so many different opinions growing up that we can become confused with so many choices. But when we bring it down to the 2 choices of either higher vibration or lower vibration, we can lump everything into those 2, and life becomes easier to navigate and comprehend. So we talked about this in the 4 elements portion of this ritual, so I won't rehash it all again, but every moment we are making a choice of higher vibration mental stories, emotions, focus, and physical actions, or lower vibrational mental stories, emotions, focus, and physical actions. We're creating our reality and our lives with the choices we make each moment. So hold out your hands in front of you like scales. On one hand, we have lower vibration. On the other hand, we have higher vibration. Now choose. It really is that simple. What's challenging is remembering this as we get drawn out into the chaotic amusement park of life full of lower vibrational fear rides. It's what we come down here to experience. So there are opportunities for these rides all over the place. But when you find yourself in line for a fear ride or riding the fear ride, be gentle with yourself. Gently make a new choice of higher vibration if that is what you want to experience. There's no judgment from the higher realms. Judgment is a human experience, a human thing, not a divine one. So just put your hands out as a scale and realize I have a choice. Do I like what I'm feeling now? If that must mean it's lower vibration. Let me switch to higher vibration if that's what I want. All right, here we go. Down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Coming back to the 1. El numero uno. The number 1 brings the energy of unity. So for this ritual, I'm going to share one of my favorite meditation type connections with the spirit world that makes me feel part of everything and very loved. I call it the I am love and I am loved meditation. Centering yourself in unconditional love can anchor you for the storms that come and rock your boat. So this meditation formed over time as I learned about the unconditional love energy that exists all around us and lives within us and really is us. The meditation split into 4 parts, and I use like a mandala prayer bead set that has a total of 112 beads split into 4 equal parts of 28. So I repeat each of the phrases we'll talk about 28 times, focusing my feeling and awareness around each phase. If you don't have something like this, you can simply use your hands and count with your fingers, repeating each phrase 30 times instead of 28. Or, for the sake of time, you can proclaim each one of these, of course, however you feel comfortable with. You can even do it, just one each time if you're trying to make this a ritual and you don't have a whole lot of time. You can just do each part just once. Of course, I'm not the mantra police, so I am not going to judge you. All right, so let's start here. Part number 1, I am unconditionally loved. So first we consider that phrase. And this does not spotlight external conditional love from human characters. This is the unconditional love that the creator of all things and the higher realms has for us. We decide right in this moment that the creator has no conditions on the love they have for us, because even one condition would render the love conditional. So for this meditation in this moment, we choose to believe that there are no conditions for that love. There's nothing we, do to earn more love, because we already have unconditionally 100% of it. And there's absolutely nothing we can do to lose that love, because it has no conditions. Knowing this is both comforting and perhaps irritating to our fear ego. Our drive to strive, achieve, and be better than others also entices us to seek the reward of more love than others so we can feel safe. And when there is an endless sea of love, there is no need for competition or war, because we need nothing we don't already have within us. So slowly take a few deep breaths in, hold it for a few seconds, and then gently exhale. And then repeat slowly, I am unconditionally loved. You can also alternate the emphasis on each of the words. You can see how it changes the love energy within us when we do that. So we start off with, I am unconditionally loved. I am unconditionally loved. Not will be or was, but am right now. I am unconditionally loved. Not conditionally, unconditionally, right? I am unconditionally loved. Imagine that the unconditional love from the mother and father of all things is a giant endless sea above us. And let this love pour down upon you like a waterfall, flowing onto your head and soaking into your being. Feel the love absorb into your heart and all your emotions. Let it fill your mind and all of your thoughts and stories about life. Let it flow through your energetic fields of your meridians, your chakras, and into your aura. Let it flow throughout your body, allowing it to flow through every cell in your body, regenerating and re-energizing it, every organ, every joint and muscle, through all of your blood. Feel the spirit being inside of us that is full of unconditional love and joy. After the unconditional love of the Creator fills us up, we're sparked to remember who we really are. Powerful, supernatural beings made of unconditional love. This phrase, I am unconditional love, is an acknowledgement of the mighty individuals that we are. We're actually made from unconditional love. Our spirit being originates from the essence of the unconditional love of the Creator. Let that awareness sink in. We're actually made up of unconditional love. We came here to experience the opposite of who we are in order to understand ourselves more clearly, observing dark next to light in order to see the contrast. We seek to experience our fear ego, full of conditional love, and we chose to forget who we really are for a time so that we can experience that contrast to its fullest, a pure experience. Eventually, there comes a time in our lives when we receive a wake-up call to begin to remember our higher self. And as we repeat the phrase, I am unconditional love, we allow the love energy within us to ignite. We see ourselves aglow with love energy. We see it surrounding us, protecting us, and converting all the surrounding darkness into light. So you could repeat slowly, I am unconditional love. As with the first phrase, we can also emphasize each word. This can keep us centered on this moment and concentrating on the profound truth that we're proclaiming, not just mindlessly repeating a bunch of words. I am unconditional love. I am unconditional unconditional love. I am unconditional love. And I am unconditional love. And then we've allowed the unconditional love of the Creator to fill us. We were sparked to remember who we really are, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made from unconditional love. And now that we are aware of the love energy inside us, we fill up with it and allow it to flow out into the world. Envision that energy waterfall pouring over yourself, igniting a ball of light that then grows to surround you in a bubble of love. And see that bubble grow as the waterfall continues to flow. Picture that ball of light engulfing you, your home, your city, your state, your country, and then moving out to the other continents, spreading love energy until it is surrounding the entire world. Once all that energy is flowing, we then can direct our intentions towards specific people. We may send unconditional love to individuals for whom we don't even feel conditional love for. Either way, we can transmit it. Whether it's political leaders, coworkers, relatives, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-spouses, whoever. We can also send the love energy to specific situation, like a friend's difficult circumstances, a battle skirmish in another country, or a riot, or toward generalized fears of a threat of war. We have the power to transmit love to people, places, things, and circumstances. So you can repeat slowly, I unconditionally love the world. I unconditionally love the world. I unconditionally love the world. Again, changing the emphasis of the words, right? I unconditionally love the world. And I unconditionally love the world. You can ease yourself into the specific people as well, because it can be challenging at first to stay in peace in sending unconditional love to individuals our human is having trouble with in the moment. But we can at least start off with the intention of having unconditional love toward them. But if it's going to steal this flow of unconditional love for you in this moment, let it go and don't do it. Because this meditation right now for this purpose is for making mindfulness a habit and about maintaining higher vibration emotions and energy and not going into reacting to that lower vibrations. So when or if it ever feels comfortable, we can send energy to leaders of the world. We can say, I unconditionally love the President of the United States, which I know can be challenging for some people right now. We can also say, I unconditionally love the leaders of China. I unconditionally love the leaders of Russia. I unconditionally love the leaders of North Korea. These are things that spark things in people, right? But if we can transmute it and change that energy, it can help us too. I unconditionally love the leaders of all nations of the world. I unconditionally love that angry customer on the phone. I unconditionally love X number 1, X number 2, X number 3, X number 4, X number 5. I know, don't push it, right? But I unconditionally love friend number 1 who's going through a challenging situation. So we can definitely focus on people that we do care about and send that energy to them as well. And once love energy has filled us up, creating its spark within us and begins to flood outwardly into the world, something incredible happens. We receive a flood of energy back from the world. We realize that the entire planet and the universe are also made from unconditional love, and shock, shock, the whole entire world does love us, even if those human characters are not expressing it to us. Those actors behind every character do. I believe at the nucleus of the tiniest particle in the physical realm, we do find something like a God particle, the essence of unconditional love. Every person is a supernatural, powerful being made from unconditional love who's playing the part of a physical human being in order to experience the contrast of conditional love. Everything and everyone is made of love energy. Every animal, every tree, plant, rock, element, and structure. This entire physical plane is an enormous stage on which we perform a dramatic play. And during this final part of the meditation, we can see the world as perfect when looking through the eyes of unconditional love. Everything is exactly as it should be right now in this moment. We can embrace the world and everyone in it and see any difficult situation in the world with new eyes. A challenging person in our lives transforms as we look beyond their well-played character, maybe they're playing a villain, to the perfect being that sits within them. So we can repeat slowly, the world is unconditional love. The world loves me unconditionally. And again, we can change all the emphasis to the world is made of unconditional love. The world is unconditional love. The world is unconditional love. And the world is unconditional love. Saying the words of this meditation aloud is very powerful. So if you can, I do highly encourage it. The vibration from our voices moves into our brains as we hear the words. The energy generated from our voices moves into the physical plane, impacting the cells of our bodies and the energy of the collective love energy sea that exists on our planet. The impact, it's kind of similar to a Tibetan singing bowl. There's a belief that the vibration from the bowl fills the gaps in our physical energy field, converting fear energy into unconditional love energy. Unconditional love energy, it's timeless. During this meditation, you might feel that energy rippling through you, and it can cause a tingling sensation or even feel as if electricity is shooting through you. That's the spark of the essence of unconditional love. So the purpose of this video has been to help us live consciously, to make mindfulness of who we really are a habit instead of focusing on our lower vibrational experiences. I recommend starting with one of the first items and build. You don't have to go into all of this in one swoop if you choose to, meditate with all these things I've mentioned, because I tend to learn and bring things into practice more when I build. So let's say you start with the first sense of sight. You do that day one or week one, and then do sight, and then hearing for day two or week two. So you have two that you're focusing on. And then you add on smell to those, where on day 3 or week 3, you're doing all 3, and so on and so on. As you build, the things at the beginning become habit and easier to flow through because you are familiar and comfortable with them and have been repeating them longer. So it's not so overwhelming when we take all of these things just a step at a time. And of course, as I mentioned in the beginning, I encourage you, find your own practices that resonate with you and excite you. These are just examples of how you might approach it, but by no means does it encapsulate all the many ways we can bring our attention consistently to the energy of the higher realms. So this will be the last of my quest videos this year. I was planning on doing the entire year, but for balancing purposes, I'm backing off a lot of the extra videos I've been creating outside of my live readings on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays that I do for the public and for my YouTube channel members, and my YouTube member sessions on Thursday nights. I'm going to keep all those, and I'm in the works of creating a weekly small podcast where I share tools and experiences like this that can help make our human path an easier one. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming out soon. But that is going to be simplifying things and getting back to basics and doing those things that I feel will help us the most. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this quest video. I'm so happy. I hope this is helpful. And remember, as you're going through your adventure, that every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until we chat again, hang in there, take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. Because why we being so serious? All right. I love you much. We'll talk to you soon.